This is the revisited 6-part series for 31 Days of Horror with Andy Lewin and Stephen Radford. Episode 4, Days 16 through 20, with films The Descent, Borderlands, Near Dark, The Unseen, and In Fear.
Hi everybody, you are listening to 31 Days of Horror, a series of blogs and podcasts where every day for 31 days from October the 1st till October the 31st, you will be taken on a ride through 31 film experiences unlike the typical list of movies that you come to expect from the Halloween season.
That's 16. That's 16. That's 16.
Neil Marshall, caving,
Go! Okay, right, Neil Marshall
the
directed
of The Descent
yeah.
that we were doing.
What's today, Andy?
Day 16 of 31 Days of Horror.
That is how you ruin an opening.
Thank you.
Beautifully. I gave it to him. I really wanted to see what would
He
happen.
said, like, just this once, you do the opening. And so I did. And I was trash.
We love it. I love his openings. Frame by frame openings were the best. Oh, man. Oh, that was before we started wrecking the studio. I remember the vines growing everything. It was great.
that was
Yeah,
good.
those are the
Good
days.
times, man.
So,
Good times.
welcome to 31 Days of Horror. And this is day 16.
And we're going caving. And we're going caving.
Yeah, we're going deep down. We're going to dig deep into this one.
Yeah. We're going to uncover stuff.
We're going right on into the underbelly of
Of Scotland.
Scotland. Is that what it was?
I think it was filmed in Scotland, but I'm pretty sure they try and say it's in America. I think it was
Yeah,
filmed
they're
in
trying to
Scotland.
make it sound like So yeah, The Descent. It's it's a horror film, adventure thriller kind of thing, where a group of people come. Oh no, let's start with the very beginning.
She's boating with her friends.
Ti-
She saw,
yeah.
she's
With her
her
friends
son and her
yeah,
husband's watching.
yeah, because they're not into the kind of thing that they do.
And
She dragged them along.
she dragged them along.
Yeah.
So they're driving afterwards, and her husband's being a bit weird with her, and she doesn't know why. And they get into a car accident, and
She never knew what was going on.
no, and her husband and child, little boy,
Yeah.
died in the accident, and she survives. And then skip forward like a year.
Very, very Final Destination kind of death. I felt.
Yeah,
But in a good way though. They didn't actually do it for.
But it has that amazing part after it, where
Yeah.
she sort of wakes up in the hospital and she doesn't know where she is. And then she walks onto the corridor and the lights start switching off, and she starts running away as the lights are switching off behind her. And then she wakes up or comes conscious in the corridor, and
Yeah.
the friends are holding her, and she's just sort of crying her eyes out. She realises.
Yeah,
what's happened.
darkness is chasing her.
Yeah.
And I kind of think that's very, very nicely symbolic of the caving situation. But yeah, it's very nice. I mean, it kind of reminds me of also of Three Colors Blue with Julia Binoche, where
right, yeah.
she has an accident with her family die as well, and she wakes up in a hospital, and there's the whole disorientation. I mean, I've woken up in a hospital after a car accident myself, not knowing if my family were alive or not. They were in the next room, but we were in France. We hit a tractor, and I was not put in the same room as them, and nobody told me. And it is a very disorientated feeling because you just, I think Three Colors Blue really captured that for me. And I think in The Descent, it's that same feeling. You just don't know what's going on. You still don't know if they're gone, but you kind of know deep down. Yes, I pretty much in this instance in The Descent, they pretty much didn't.
Well, the pole goes through her husband's head and the son's head.
It's like
Yeah,
oh,
she's knocked out, but I think she knows it's horrible. But then it skipped forward a year, and she's going on a little holiday with the same friend she went kayaking with, and they're going.
she just doesn't learn, does she? So they go
well, I
caving.
think her friends have invited her just to try and get her
They're
out.
trying to help her. They're
Yeah.
trying to help her, and they're
She's
just
clearly
saying,
still, traumatized by the whole
Yeah.
thing. She has that dream, doesn't she, where she can hear her son calling her, and she goes through this one of jump scare things. She goes to the window, and then you just see the pole go through everyone's head, and then she wakes up again.
yeah.
But they go caving, what they think is a cave that's been done a lot. It turns out it's never been.
Yeah.
No one's ever been down there.
And that's the excitement of it all, because
Yeah.
it's the whole idea of the unknown, the danger.
If you are slightly claustrophobic, this would be a difficult film to watch.
And it was, because I'm a little bit
yeah.
claustrophobic. I have vertigo issues as well, but when you don't know what's below you, what's around you, don't worry. Clunk. Yes. Andy just rested a beer on the table.
Yeah.
It's
So
okay.
I roll.
Do you want to do that again with reverb? That's so Borderlands.
Oh, gotta wait for tomorrow for that.
Yeah.
I think this film is great. I
It
went
is.
watching this at the cinema.
Oh,
I didn't know anything about it.
That's tricky to watch in the cinema. I must.
Yeah, I remember all the cave stuff on, getting trapped and everything that happens. I was like, I was losing my breath. I was like, it's such a, you get an actual physical reaction out of it. And then when the other thing starts to happen, I was not expecting that at all.
Once they start coming out the walls.
Yeah, well, it's the best bit I love. It's one of my favourite parts in like modern horror cinema.
Yeah.
With whether you just see the point of view of the camcorder that's in night vision, and he's like, "Hello, is there anybody there?" And someone goes, "Is there anybody there?" And he does that, and you see one of those things behind one of the women just stood there, and I was like, "What the?
What is going on?" That's the first. Yeah.
And then it's, Act 3.
Yeah, and
it's the
and then it's not just about the under cave dwellers who kind of look a little bit like Nosferatu. It was based on Nosferatu's image,
very similar.
but they're fighting their interpersonal issues as well.
Yeah.
Secrets come out.
Yep.
And we don't know whether to believe it or not, but there's and of course
Someone
that
kills
creates
somebody in an accident.
Yeah, and it's like a very grey area there.
Yeah, but what I like about it is it's just an all female cast apart from the husband and son at the beginning,
because that's
and
never
they
been
kick
done.
ass.
Yeah,
They're
because
brilliant.
And do you know what? When they made this movie, did they make a fuss about the fact that it was an all female cast?
No, not at all.
No, it's amazing that.
The director and writer of it is a guy called Neil Marshall.
Yeah.
Before this, he did Dog Soldiers. Have you ever seen that?
Yes.
I really like that film as well.
Yeah.
And I just think he was talented to watch. He released a film after this, and he did 2 more films after The Descent, and they didn't do as well. And then I think he just does like Game of Thrones episodes now and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's what TV is a bit of a draw for directors.
But I think this film's excellent. I really do.
It is, yeah.
Do you know it has 2 different endings? One for an American audience, one from a British audience.
Right, she comes out at the end into daylight,
Yeah.
and one of the versions it just ends there.
Yeah. And then the British version,
It goes one step
just a
further.
dream.
Yeah.
She's still
in there. Yeah, that's it. And it was a birthday cake.
Yeah. Spoilers, by the way.
There you go.
But
so
it's quite an old film now.
it is, yeah. I mean, it's like like with Sixth Sense, where some people get upset because they think that got spoiled because it was Bruce Willis. It's just the way it is.
Yeah.
But it is a great film. Good posters as well. The poster reminds me very indicative of Silence of the Lambs. And as you said, it was an all-female cast, and nobody made a fuss about it. No. Let's move on. That's great.
Yeah.
How
Great
it should
film.
be.
Yeah. Classic.
Are they going
to watch this every year?
Yeah, you watch this every year.
Yeah.
And it's one of those films I don't think it's they're able to remake it or to revisit it. I think they kind of it's too much of it's too much hard work, I think.
Yeah. You can imagine how difficult it was to film that.
Yeah, and there's only so many
cave system.
Many films you can watch when you're in an underground cave system. There's only so many things you can do with that.
This again was just a film that was made. It did really well, and then all the copies come out after it.
Yeah, that's it.
Like after Bruce Lee, you get Bruce Lee, Bruce La.
Yeah,
and
La La Lee.
Yeah,
La La Land.
La La Land.
Which
Bruce Lee dance film.
Yeah, which I think he would have done better.
Yes, I agree.
Maybe.
But I would definitely recommend The Descent for anyone who's not seen it. Great film.
And if you're claustrophobic, just
get over it, man.
Just crack a window. You'll be
Yeah,
fine.
Honestly.
All right. So thank you very much, Andy, for coming over again.
You're welcome.
You know, I'm amazed he makes a 45-minute trip here for 10 minutes.
Yep.
And then I kick him out.
45 minutes, 10 minutes, 45 minutes back, bed.
Yeah, because he loves movies.
Yes.
Yes.
More than life itself.
Just for October, man.
Just right.
Life, you'll get your life back in November.
That's 17. That's 17. That's 17.
Basically, they've gotten so good on iTunes that you can actually now, instead of pre-recording your podcast, you can post-record them in the future, and then you can schedule them for months back. Yeah. So
With the right planning, I wouldn't have to do anything.
I know, but we don't know. We don't know until we've done it, though.
Right.
But we have to. We're not there yet, but we are because we
Okay.
did it before.
All right.
And we're doing it now.
Am I on a boat?
We're not
How many
talking.
mirrors there around here?
My cough is getting worse as October goes on. Welcome to the 17th of October 2018.
Today we're going all folk horror.
Folk horror, yes. And that little drama that we just did was just pointless. But hey, this is what we like to do.
Yeah, we'll probably keep it in anyway.
Yeah.
Because we don't give a shit.
Post editing. Yes, we're definitely past the halfway mark. Andy's starting to curse, and
Yeah,
I'm
sorry.
losing my rag, and I'm becoming blurred from the effort of doing these. But I'm going to keep doing it.
Oh, yeah,
we're
absolutely.
strong.
Yeah.
Folk horror.
Folk horror.
Okay, tell me about Borderlands.
Borderlands is a found footage film.
Yes.
They're doing an investigation into a church. It's
That's
like
it.
built on an old pagan burial ground, isn't it?
Yeah.
And weird things have been happening in this church. So this cameraman and this investigator go to it and essentially just investigate it.
That's it.
So the first hour of the film is pretty much paranormal activity.
Yeah, very much
You know,
so.
he's very much so. But I would put my kidneys on the floor if anyone who has not seen this film can guess the end.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because the ending of this film is batshit crazy.
I
loved it.
Yeah, but you don't know. Yeah, and even when you see it,
You don't know what's happening. You don't know what that is.
you just have to. It's incredible. It's like somebody just swallowed up the tape, and that's it.
Yeah, or they sort of lost the end.
Yeah,
You go, oh,
But they
have you
did
got
it-
some lino?
yeah.
Yeah, right. I know what to do. You know.
but at least they didn't do what they did in Chronicle and all these other found footage movies, where they all of a sudden there's all these different camera angles where found footage can't be used or found, and
yeah,
yet
it's
it's
true,
just
yeah.
they stuck true to the found footage theory, and you can't see everything that's happening at the end because the tape is,
Corrupted.
how did they find it? How did they find the footage?
I don't know.
That's the fascinating part, is how who got in there, and
But it's just a roots made film.
it is, yeah.
It's really good. I
Back
really
to-
enjoyed
yeah.
it. Everyone in it was really committed to the part. The guy who's the cameraman is your typical cocky southern arsehole.
Yeah.
You know.
He irritated me. I remember he irritated me, and I think we talked about this on our podcast
yeah, but
before.
that's the idea of him.
And that's-
He's supposed
yeah.
to be irritating, you know.
Yeah.
Because generally people who do that kind of job can be a bit boisterous.
He
and a
wants
bit
to-
arrogant, you know.
Because I think because of the religious element to it, he wanted to kind of, he always was irked by that element, and I think he was always pushing buttons. And because it's found footage, you're gonna feel irritated by people because they're pushing the buttons of the other characters,
Yeah.
not you. They're not aware that you're watching this movie. They're just making a film for the Vatican, for the Catholic Church.
Yeah. But I
So-
like the introduction of the youths, the teens that are nearby in the village.
Yeah,
They're like these cocky teens, and then you start to think that the things that are happening are just these kids messing around.
yeah.
And that puts a new element into it. And
Yeah.
it's just a fun film. It's got a few nice scares in it. It's as far as found footage films go, it's one of the better ones, I would say.
Definitely,
And
yeah.
I definitely would watch
It
this
sticks.
once a year.
It sticks to the ground roots of what this should be as a
Yeah.
found footage film, and like you say, it's just one of those endings that again it feels so difficult because we can't tell them.
I know. I really want to talk about it.
We really want to talk about it, but we
can't really.
Not. We just. Yeah, it's impossible to really go there. But it's just something you have to see for yourself.
You will not guess what happens at the end.
No
way.
No, they. Well, do you want me to do it? I'll tell him.
Yeah,
Right?
but can you actually? Oh, yeah, go on then. You tell them.
Do you trust me?
No.
Well, they go down under the church.
Yeah.
They dig.
Yeah.
Then they come out, and they pop out in the middle of a Sainsbury's, and in that Sainsbury's, it's nighttime, and all the staff are worshipping Satan around a bottle of milk.
Yeah. Satan breeze, they called it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. There you go.
And the milk was white, and then it just slowly turns black.
That's it. Yeah, exactly that.
Yeah.
That's it. That's what happens.
Yeah.
Not a sponsor.
It's not...
Definitely not a sponsor.
But
Okay.
put it this way. Can you tell me definitively what happens at the end of the film?
If I had to put my kidneys on the floor, which I'd like to think that that what happens is in the literal sense.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah. Yeah.
I just mimicked something.
He gestured to me, and it was quite obscene. And I wish he'd done it with his pants on. It's just no need for that.
No, when I've told you when we were doing this, every podcast pants off.
Yeah, the pants are off at the door.
Yeah.
Okay. So this is a film you watch every year.
Yeah, I definitely would. I enjoy it.
Yeah.
Because it's easy to watch. It's a bit creepy in parts, and the ending is just great.
It's short. It's only 89 minutes.
It is, yeah, and it's just When I thought I was getting sick of the found footage thing, and then Borderlands come out, find out it's found footage. All right, I'll watch it. I like where it's set. I like the look of the church. Mm-hmm. And I've got a thing with the country, the British country. There's something odd about it. It's something like a bygone era. It's not moved on. Like if you're in a city, you grow up in a city, you would not believe that these villages still exist.
This movie kind of reminds me of Three Men and a Little Lady.
Yes, the church at the end.
Because of the church at the end,
Yeah.
and because Ted Danson also has an issue with his face.
Yeah, that's true.
That's
very good.
There you go. So watch it. It's also called Final Prayer in the US. So if you are looking for it, it can be under both the titles Final Prayer and Borderlands.
Yeah.
I still have this cough. I think I'm dying. I think I got bit or something.
Really?
Yeah, I'm starting to. Every episode, I feel worse and getting even worse.
So by the end, it'll be like The Fly. You just be holding a shotgun up to your face, and I'll have to pull the trigger.
Yeah, you're gonna be blubbering idiot, just firing the gun.
So it's not going to be me who's dying at the end now. It's going to be you.
Or will it? Or will it? You see, we don't know. Stay tuned.
Which one of us dies.
31 films in 31 days. Oh,
so exciting.
Monkey news. So hi there, it is the 18th of October, 2018.
Hi.
Andy's looking a little bit tired, but I think we're kind of like that lull where we just kind of like we'll pick it up for the last.
This is the one. This is gonna pick us up. This.
Yeah, you reckon?
Bill Paxton.
Oh
Vampires.
man, yeah.
Come on.
Bill Paxton and vampires.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Catherine Bigelow.
We're gonna talk about Near Dark. This is Catherine Bigelow's Big Picture, 1987 picture starring Adrian Pasdar. Never heard of him. Jenny Wright. Never really heard of her.
I know she was in that film.
Oh, Jenny Wright?
Yeah. Jenny Wright. She was in the film with the other actors in it as well. They all talked. It was like real life, but in a box. It was good. Good.
He's hammered. Lance Henriksen, stand-up guy.
Yeah, good cyclist.
Yeah. He's good at sitting down too. Bill Paxton, of
Never
course,
heard
we
of
mentioned. And
Jeanette Goldstein.
yes, And so a small town farmer's son, yeah, that always is the problem, isn't it? Reluctantly joins a traveling group of vampires after he is turned on by a beautiful drifter. Is he turned on?
Is he turned on?
I'm reading this from IMDb. Or turned on. Turned on or turned on. That's an odd way of phrasing it.
Yeah, and a beautiful drifter.
A beautiful drifter.
Was he peering into a toilet at the time?
It sounds like lyrics.
That's a beautiful drifter in this toilet.
It sounds like
Which one of you did it? It was me. I'm going to follow you, vampires.
I was turned on by a beautiful drifter.
Oh, that's Neil Young. You sound like Neil Young when you did that. Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, this was one of those films that Catherine Bigelow obviously stole
Yeah, all of Cameron's crew.
Filofax.
What's a Filofax?
Contacts. Filofax is what they had in 1987 when they looked up people's contacts and stole them.
Or kind of like notes.
He would have had a Filofax.
And she would have had to go on a submarine to get to it as well. Pretentious prick.
He would have had to have done a documentary on the passing over of the Filofax.
Yeah, yeah.
With the briefing apparatus on.
Yeah, but not underwater. Just in his front room.
But this is not even about James Cameron.
You mentioned his name.
I mentioned his name. It's hilarious. But Near Dark, it's a contemporary horror film, a vampire film. Sorry.
Yeah.
Before From Dusk Till Dawn. This is pre Dusk Till Dawn territory, where they're trying to bring vampires into the modern day world.
Yeah, it's
Middle America.
Yeah, it's kind of like Lost Boys type.
Which was going on a lot in the late 80s. And the one film that put a stop to that, do you know what film put a stop to all those silly vampire films?
Spice World, the movie.
Interview of a Vampire.
They sucked all the blood out of it.
Sucked all the blood. I know, you're still reeling from your traumatic captivity. Yeah.
Enter episode here.
13. Episode 13 of Frame by Frame.
Yeah, we were abducted by the Spice Girls.
It's fantastic.
It was tough times.
But yeah, so Interview with a Vampire put an end to it. This whole chain of vampire films, modern day vampire films.
But all sort of cool and
yeah.
Which, as far as vampire films go, I'm not keen on the hey, we're cool, we're vampires, or
but this
we're
is what
so
this was
beautiful.
This
we're
is,
so
yeah.
I like
Yeah.
Guillermo del Toro sort of take on vampire. It was like a disease, an infection that.
But Near Dark kind of and Lost Boys, if you think about it, there was the whole I was gonna say craze, but it's not a craze. The whole stigma of AIDS virus.
Yeah,
that craze back in the 80s.
They loved it back then, didn't they?
Oh, get me some of that AIDS. So vampires were kind of like an allegory for that. I think, and that's why they were pulling it into modern day so much, because they needed to talk about it, but they just thought, well, what's the only thing that we can compare with the AIDS virus getting bitten by a vampire? So yeah, it's I found this film really fun only because of Lance Henriksen, Bill Paxton, and Jeanette Goldstein. Yeah. This is the reason why it's in the list, because I love watching them phoning it in as vampires. And that's the only reason why it's in there.
Oh.
Yeah. I'm being very honest here. This is not the best contemporary vampire movie that there's ever been. And I'm sure that Twilight still holds the
But like I say,
I'm going to watch all those, one day, and we're going to review them.
Right, you're going to watch them, and then I'll talk about them.
I'll have to sell them to you. I'll have to sell them to you.
Okay.
But
like I said, when it comes to a vampire film, I like it to be, like Blade 2.
Yeah.
Where it's horrible and you've been taken over by this thing, and it is like a disease. Or
Yeah.
Not this pretty. We're so pretty, or we're so cool.
We're cool, driving around America, just picking up girls. Yeah. Well, in this one, it's a girl picking up a guy, so they are trying to subvert it a little bit.
And that's probably may have come from Catherine Bigelow.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, female vampire.
And I think it's worth noting as well that
the female vampire. That's a totally different movie. That's a great erotica.
Oh, is it?
It's.
I'll watch it when I get home.
I have to mention it because the soundtrack is so good. This is my honest take on the female vampire. The music is beautiful. I found the music first, and I thought, I want to see this film. And then I realized that the girl only wears a belt. There's none of that in here, but there you go.
Well, that's what it was missing.
That's what it's missing. Maybe I should have put the female vampire in this.
I wish you had. No, I actually, but like you say, it is a very enjoyable film, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
It's great fun. It's
Yeah.
not scary. Would you say it's a classic?
I wouldn't say it's a classic myself. I think I was pushing to put films in this list that people hadn't seen before. At least, and I think it's worth watching, just to kind of see that this is how, it's not always about the Lost Boys when they're talking about vampire films of the 80s. There are other vampire films available.
I'm not that big of a fan of the big one of the 80s.
The Lost Boys.
I'm not that much of a fan of it.
I haven't watched it since I watched it the first time. Not really a fan either.
But people go nuts for it.
Yeah.
And I don't understand why.
Soundtrack.
Soundtrack?
Yeah, I reckon because, there was that hit in the 80s and every time it's played. Straight away, Lost Boys. Everybody loves the song, so they've got to love the movie.
And I suppose you can put a film on, like you can put a piece of
Yeah.
sort of music on or something, and it evokes a memory
Yeah,
of being happy as a kid. And
but the contemporary kids these days, they see Lost Boys as if they think it's special, then it must be special, and therefore I must watch it.
no, that's why it rests solely on our shoulders.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, we speak for 7 billion people.
So for Near Dark, not a classic.
But it's fun.
But it's fun.
And Catherine Bigelow has had one hell of a great career.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like her. And
yeah, so do I.
She's
Very
great.
much
And she keeps it real. How are you doing, Andy? I mean, this is day 18. Do you think you can hold it up for the next week and a bit?
Somebody stop it.
That's 19. That's 19. That's 19.
Day 19. We are slowly descending into madness. I'm not too sure if we're going to get out of this alive. So welcome to day 19. Andy, how do you feel?
I feel fantastic.
Yeah, so we're on day 19, and the film we're going to be talking about is The Unseen. It came out in 2016. It's more of a horror sci-fi.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could say. A man who has abandoned his family now risks everything to find his missing daughter, including exposing the secret that he is becoming invisible. Invisible. Reverb. Yes! Oh man, I feel whole again.
I'm in input 1.
Yeah, you are.
That's quite the honour.
Input 1, I'm input 2. And I still have... and today I put that cable in again.
Oh, silly cable.
The cable that leads to nowhere.
So I'm plugged in the front, you're plugged in the back. So, The Unseen.
Yeah, so this is was it? I can't remember if it's a Canadian film. It's directed by Jeff Redknapp.
I think it's a Canadian film.
You know that Jeff Redknapp? Yeah, I know him.
Good football player.
Stars Aidan Young, Camille Sullivan, Julia Sarah Stone, and Ben Cotton. And it's a new take on the Invisible Man story.
Yes.
Brand new take.
Yeah, he's slowly becoming invisible throughout it, isn't he?
Yeah, but you know when you think about Invisible Man films, you just think of them just fading in their clothes. Well, this is what I like about this movie. He's not fading from his clothes. His body is deteriorating.
Yeah. It looks painful. Doesn't look fun.
It doesn't look fun.
No.
I think when you think about Invisible Man, you know... Chevy Chase, he made it look a little bit effortless.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sunglasses.
Yeah.
Why? Don't know. Bandages around
Kevin
it.
Bacon made it a little bit more painful, but then it was just a quick injection, and then he was invisible, and then he was able to just go around and rape and pillage.
Yeah.
Which, of course, is why it was directed by Paul Verhoeven.
Yes.
Terrible movie. But for this one, the whole film is about him disintegrating. He hasn't even got there yet. He's not really invisible yet.
Is the invisibility more like metaphorical? As opposed to fading from society kind of thing?
Fading from society, it could be an allegory for that. But the film, I don't want to give it away, but it's there's kind of like a Hereditary vibe in this.
Yeah.
Not that I haven't seen the film Hereditary, by the way.
I watched it recently, actually.
But I can understand that there is an element of it runs in the family.
Yeah.
And so the focus here is, of course, the father looking for the daughter. But there are relatives still alive that are his parents, or his dad, I think. And he's already invisible. So we're, I think I just really spoiled it.
You did. You said it in such a chipper way as well.
He's invisible.
He's really invisible.
He's invisible too. Who cares if you haven't watched it? It's not going to be a big deal.
It's kind of like Teen Wolf for the invisibility.
How do you mean?
Because Teen Wolf's dad's a wolf as well.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. And
but he never did a handstand on top of a
no.
truck in this.
But I like the idea of the Hereditary vibe in these kind of horror films.
Yeah.
It's very fresh at the moment. The film is just about him trying to get his life back in focus, which is kind of ironic because he's losing all focus in his life. There's drug cartels that are still kind of like getting him to deliver packages. There's a mysterious Chinese shop, her special medicine shop.
Best scene in the movie.
Worst acting, but the best. Yeah, it's not the most terrifying film.
No,
but it's fascinating because of the pain.
Yeah, the pain he's going through, and it's just a different look at the Invisible Man. And
it's not pretty. It's not pretty. I mean, and there's nothing in this film that's trying to be Hollywood. And it feels like an independent film. But it's done very well, and it's very well performed, and the things that you expect to happen in it don't really happen in it, but it does keep you engaged. You kind of think that he's going to become a little bit, invisible and rogue and start doing things that you would do. Not me. I know you know.
Oh yeah, I'd do it.
Yeah.
I'd steal an Aston Martin.
Would you?
Probably.
Is that an Aston Martin?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm the kind of person that no matter what, I get caught.
I'm actually the same.
I'm too guilty for myself.
When I was a kid, I stole some chewing gum from Asda.
Yeah.
And I turned myself in 5 minutes later.
I accidentally walked out with a pencil sharpener from Wilkinson's, and I went in crying, saying, "I forgot to pay for this." And I felt horrible, absolutely horrible. And it's paid off because I just know that if I do anything wrong, I get caught. Everybody else gets away with it.
Yeah, you know what I do steal a lot?
What do you steal?
Hearts.
Oh my god. I'm just so glad that we're not going to do 31 days of Valentine's Day. That would be so horrible. Oh.
Actually, it wouldn't be that bad because there's only 28 days in February.
But it's still 28 days of rom-coms.
Oh, God.
Oh.
And you'd have to find really niche ones.
I'd have to find ones that people haven't seen. Well, The Truth About Cats and Dogs is the best.
Yeah.
That's about the best.
Mills and Boons adaptation.
Danielle Steele. No, she's not. She's not really.
Starts with a guy on a beach building a boat. No top on and a dog.
And then it all ends with, when them doing it on a boat.
Yeah, apparently it comes. Yeah. Anyway, the unseen.
It's So, what do you think to this film?
I enjoyed it. I really did enjoy it. You really feel his discomfort throughout the film.
Well, that's the whole idea. I mean, when you think about the Saw films where people are drilling themselves with power tools and clamping their heads with spikes and doing all this shitty stuff with themselves, this guy has no choice. He has to disappear slowly. He has to go through all this pain. His organs have to I don't know. I can imagine it would be like burning the whole time.
Which you wouldn't have seen, but in Ant-Man and the Wasp, The
Okay.
main bad lady in it.
Yeah.
But she's not really bad. She just can't really help it. She's phasing in and out of reality.
Okay.
So she keeps on disappearing and reappearing, but it's happening constantly to her, and she's in constant pain. And it made me think when I watched it, you've been doing a little bit of thieving there, Mr. Marvel.
Ah, well, steal from the best,
Yeah.
or steal from the indies. But that's not in the comic book then.
I don't know. I don't read comics. I'm not a nerd.
No, I'm not. I tried to be a nerd. I tried to be everything. Collecting stickers in those sticker albums.
I gave up.
I gave up too.
When you get too many doubles, and then you're trying to
And you
swap
think,
them with
oh,
your friends.
Yeah,
and I don't have any
I
friends.
didn't have any friends. I know.
So I was just swapping in a mirror. That was really bad.
Yeah. So, is this a film that you'd watch again though?
I say so. Yeah, I think I would.
You'd watch it
I don't think it's something that bears repeat viewing endlessly.
to celebrate. No, it's not a
But
celebration.
It's definitely a film I'd like to go back to maybe in a few months and watch and just.
Yeah, if
pick
you
it
had
apart a little bit more.
if you had a reason to watch it, yeah, I think it's one of those kind of films.
Yeah, you know when you sat on your own at night time and you think, I'm going to watch a film, and you can't pick a film, but if there's a friend round, Unseen.
Yeah,
You've not seen
if you've not seen it, then we'll watch it. And,
so it's that kind of film to me.
It is
If a
that
friend
kind of
came round and they wanted to see something a little bit different, let's get Unseen on.
I hate it when I go around friends' house and they've watched a film and I haven't, and when they're watching it, they're sitting there and they're looking at you, waiting to see if you paid attention to that bit. And so no, this is that was funny. Did you see? Yeah, did you see that? Yeah, I saw it. I'm watching it. Thanks. They're just constantly like wanting to just. They
It's like
want
opening presents in front of your friends when they bought you the present.
Oh yeah, they wanted
Hate
to.
What do you think of it?
What do you think? What do you think?
Yeah,
Have
it's
you
nice.
just- have you-
It's what I asked for. Thanks.
Yeah,
I don't want to be.
isn't it
I'm
cool?
not being disrespectful, but
Yeah,
that's what I asked for.
that's great. Thanks. This is great. Great. I'm gonna look at it later.
Yeah,
that's fine.
thank you.
Yeah, but I don't. But have you looked? Have you actually opened it up and No, I'm not. No, it's okay.
This is all hypothetical because we don't have friends.
Yeah, we don't have friends. Yeah, that's why we're in a cabin alone,
Yeah.
drinking tap water from last week. Okay, so
Unseen.
Unseen, watch
See
it.
it.
See it.
That's working. That's working. That's working.
In Fear, everybody. This is a great film.
Yeah.
Andy, start us off.
This is the 20th of October. Hello. You're better at the starts than me.
You were doing so well until I actually told you were starting.
Then it was
Yeah,
goes.
yeah.
See, I see myself as a contributor. I see Stephen as the host.
Oh, well, it's because I just talk too much. That's, can't shut up for
You're so
2
wise.
seconds. And Wise?
Yeah,
Me?
yeah. Robert Wise.
Robert Wise.
So, In Fear.
Deceased.
Give me the setup, Stephen. Do your thing.
Okay, so
It
In
is a
Fear.
great film, this.
In Fear is a film I thought you told me about one time. And I said, oh, okay, whatever.
I probably have.
And I, for some reason, I remembered you saying that I should watch it. And when I was looking for things to put on the list, just randomly plucking shit movies like Hide and Seek, I saw this and I thought, well, I'll give it a go. It's there. So I got the DVD, and it is really good.
Yeah.
It is a fantastic film. It's kind of like a Blair Witch Project type of movie.
Yeah.
In terms of how it was made, because the actor, you've got to kind of watch the behind the scenes documentary that goes with the DVD. I've
not watched that.
Yeah, because basically the cast weren't told what they weren't. If they weren't in scenes together, they did not audition together. They were kept separate. They didn't know the whole story. They just got so much. I think they got about 30 pages of script to begin with, and everything else of that was given to them on a daily basis for the daily shoot.
Wow.
They didn't know what was going to happen around the corner. They didn't know if they should trust each other. They didn't know if they can trust themselves.
The key thing here, of course, is that Ian and Alice don't know what is actually going to happen to their characters. They just have to trust Jeremy that he won't kill them actually during the process of making the film.
Can't be.
Lovely couple.
It's the man right here.
Yeah. Man of mystery.
What do you think the ending's going to be?
This is just going to sound like I'm covering all the bases, which I am.
Yeah.
I think I'm either going to die or not die. Yeah.
They just went along for the ride. Some days they didn't even know if things were happening were actually in the script or if it was just that, like the car. One time they left the car. So let's just tell what the story's about. Guy and a girl just met in I think they met on. Oh, where did they meet? They met.
Yeah.
And they clicked. They might have been online dating. I'm not sure, but they decided that they were going to go to a festival together to kind of like start their romantic life together.
Yeah.
They get there a bit early, so the guy's already planned ahead and got a hotel sorted out.
Yeah, and she's a little bit...
She's like, that's a bit forward.
Yeah, yeah.
They're like, wasn't too sure. So anyway, they start to look for this hotel in the Greenlands of England. And the thing is about this, we know this place, the Greenlands of England, the old rural roads go on forever, twists and turns, single non-passing roads with hedgerows on both sides. And they can't find the hotel, and it gets darker and darker, and then they start to get a bit worried because things start happening. Yeah. Much like Blair Witch. It's kind of a very similar setup in that way. That,
is it the guy at Lord of the Rings?
No.
Who's
it
the guy
kind of looks like it, but it's not. They're an unknown couple, fairly unknown. But I think they've done a few things since then. I think he's gone on to do a TV series. Oh, I can't remember what it's called. There's a Marvel thing going on that he's in now that's on TV. Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. or something, I think, maybe. I might be saying the wrong thing, but I doubt it because I'm that good.
Yeah, I mean, you couldn't possibly get anything wrong.
Can't possibly get anything wrong. But yeah, it's really good. Simply because, you can relate to it, getting lost on those rural roads, but the fact that they keep on going around in circles, they're seeing things in the corner of their eyes, seeing people, and they don't know what's going on. I love it. Yeah. That's the kind of thing that gets me hooked in. And they didn't ruin it in the end. They very nearly ruined it, but
oh yeah, it's him out of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., you're right.
Oh, wow, yeah. That was actually
that's where I thought. Yeah, that's where I've seen him before.
That's where you've seen him before.
He'd already been in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and he just did this film.
Right. Yeah. Oh, so he wasn't a known entity. That's fine. I'll let him off then. But yeah, it was really good. It was a
psychological horror.
This is psychological. This is it. Yeah. This is it. This gets under your skin because really know how it feels to be. I mean,
like I live in the country, so I know what these roads are like. You know what I mean?
Yeah, Lincolnshire is very similar. Yeah. It's a lot of farmland country.
What I love about film where you're out in the country and stuff, you get a feeling the country it's always been there. It's, you know what I mean? It's like an ancient thing. Yeah. And
people have been farming that land since the dawn of nothing. That's the first thing that you do as a human, as a proto-human who's got the ability and skills and tools. You farm.
Yeah, but then as the people in it, the couple that go into it, it's like they're intruding on their space.
That's it.
You know what I mean? Yeah. So it's like Edward Woodward in The Wicker Man. That's at that place. Yeah, is a different entity. It's an ancient thing.
This is kind of
he's going into that. So they're going into this. So this
is like folk horror. It's kind of a way. It's kind of folk horror because the folk. When you think of folk horror, it's about the place is the entity that we're talking about here. And the people are kind of like just intruding on.
Yeah, they're intruding onto that space,
and that's So, I can understand that.
So what happens to them is it's them intruding.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
It's their fault, like Borderlands.
Yeah, exactly. Like
they're intruding.
Yeah.
I was going to say, because before I explain the film as well, there's a moment where they walk away from the car, and then they hear the car alarm going off, and they think, oh, is this in the script? We don't know. Just go along with it. They just went along with it, but it was an accident. The car had a fault.
Really?
And just started to go. And so there's moments like that really help go along with the realism. Love it. It's well worth doing. So do it up. Watch in fear. And
really like that film.
Yeah, worth watching.
Things have slowly been rising suspense-wise, I guess, because just the idea that you're being fucked with and you're not quite sure who's doing it, or why, or even if anyone has.
I mean, there's been a few moments when they've bumped things, or that, you know, where you can just see a different, you know, quality of fear. And I think it's, you know, that's... I don't want to lose those moments, so I'd rather keep it and construct a reason it's there.
Since like last week, Thursday, the day after that, we didn't know what was going to happen anymore. And that's constantly scary because someone could jump out at you. You don't know, and that's the reality of being in the situation.
It's amazing. It's like sitting in NetSuite, just looking at their performance, and I think it just looks so much different. And I think you what they're very good at is making it feel totally believable anyway. But when they do it, because they've become those characters in a situation, they're not preempting anything. It's utterly believable.
There's a scarecrow or a bin bag or something wrapped around a tree. Or... I think it's just your imagination.
That concludes episode 4 of this 6-part limited revisit of 31 Days of Horror. For essays on all films featured in this program, go to StephenRadford.com. And now, some words from our sponsors at Liquid Storage Bags.
Now, Bob, consider this next question very carefully.
Liquid Storage Bags! You will never get caught short again thanks to Liquid Storage Bags!
Here you get 8, that's right, 8 bags in which you can store your very own liquid items.
Bag on sold separately, liquid not included.
The attractive cardboard box is easy to open.
With each wonderfully transparent, durable, and easily accessible. Ready to go!
That's right, when you've got to go,
Liquid Storage Bags are there for you! Liquid Storage Bags?
That's right!
Liquid Storage Bags!
They're sleek, sturdy, and stylish. And what's more, you can write all the information you need right there on the bag, where the space is provided.
Warning, do not write on Liquid Storage Bags. Liquid Storage Bags cannot be found in any store, by phone, or online.
So you know that Liquid Storage Bags are the product for you.
And only you.
What's it called?
Liquid Storage Bags.
Ah, yeah! Liquid Storage Bags.